Samita Dasa Kanta Jai Jai Deva Hare Jai Jai Deva Hare Jaya Jaya Deva Hare Prabhu Jaya Jaya Deva Hare Jaya Jaya Deva Hare Abhinava Jaladhara Sundara He Jita Mandara He Jita Mandara He Samara Samita Dasa Kanta Jai Jai Deva Hare Jai Jai Deva Hare Jai Jai Deva Hare Prabhu Jai Jai Deva Hare Jaya Jaya Deva Hare Abhinava Jaladhara Sundara He Jita Mandara He Jita Mandara He Shimukha Chandra Chakora Jai Jai Deva Hare Jai Jai Deva Hare Jai Jai Deva Hare Prabhu Jai Jai Deva Hare Jai Jai Deva Hare Tava charanam prana tavayam he iti bhavaya he iti bhavaya he Kuru kusalam prana tesu Jai Jai Deva Hare Jaya Jaya Deva Hare Jaya Jaya Deva Hare Prabhu Jaya Jaya Deva Hare Jai Jai Deva Hare Tava charanam pranata vayam he iti bhavaya he iti bhavaya he Yesu, Jai Jai Deva Hare, Jai Jai Deva Hare. Jaya Jaya Deva Hare, Prabhu Jaya Jaya Deva Hare, Jaya Jaya Deva Hare. Shri Jaya Deva Kavir Idam Hai, Guru Te Mudam Hai, Guru Te Mudam Hai. Mangalam Ujvala Geetam, Jai Jai Deva Hare, Jai Jai Deva Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Bola Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. This is a famous bhajan written by Sri Jayadev Goswami from his Gita Govinda, prayers glorifying Lord Krishna. And Jayadev Goswami appeared in Orissa, and he was a very saintly Vaishnava, and he wrote, before the advent of Lord Chaitanya, this amazing poetic book called Gita Govinda. And these are some of the verses from that book. So it's glorifying Krishna. It says, "He who rests upon the breasts of the goddess of fortune, who is decorated with swinging earrings, who wears a charming garland of flowers. O Lord Jayadeva, who defeats all the demigods, O Lord Hari, all glories to you. You are the Lord whose ornaments are as splendid as the orb of the sun. You break the cycle of repeated birth and death. You are like the swan who swims in the peaceful lake of the sages' hearts. O Lord Jayadev, O Lord Hari, all glories unto you. My dear Lord, you defeated the poisonous Kaliya serpent. You are the delight of all the people. You are like the brilliantly shining sun that causes the lotus flower of the Yadu dynasty to bloom. O Jayadev, O Lord Hari, all glories unto you. You are the killer of the demons Madhu, Mura, and Naraka. You ride on the back of Garuda. You enjoy pastimes among the dynasties of demigods. Your eyes are immaculate like lotus petals. You are the giver of liberation from the cycles of repeated birth and death. And you are the priceless treasure of the three worlds. You have become the ornament of the daughter of Maharaj Janaka. And you are victorious over all wicked demons. You defeated the 10-headed Ravana in battle. You are as handsome as a fresh rain cloud. You are the lifter of Govardhana hill. And like the Chakora bird who drinks the moonlight of Radharani's face. We are bowing down before your lotus feet. Please think of us in this way and kindly grant auspiciousness to us who bow down before you. This song of the poet Jayadeva brings transcendental happiness. It is an auspicious, brilliantly effulgent song. O Lord Jayadev, O Lord Hari, all glories unto you. Hare Krishna. So this next bhajan again is in Sanskrit, like the previous one. And it's the prayers to the 6 Goswamis, the direct disciples of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And it says, I offer my respectful obeisances unto the 6 Goswamis, namely Srila Rupa Goswami, Sri Sanatana Goswami, Sri Raghunath Bhatta Goswami, Sri Raghunath Dasa Goswami, Sri Jiva Goswami, and Sri Gopala Bhatta Goswami, who are always engaged in chanting the holy name of Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, and dancing. They are just like the ocean of love of God, and they are popular both with the gentle and with the ruffians, because they are not envious of anyone. Whatever they do, they are all pleasing to everyone, and they are fully blessed by Lord Chaitanya. Thus they are engaged in missionary activities, meant to deliver all the conditioned souls in the material universe. Okay, don't play. Krishna Kirtana Naganartana Paro Premam Ribonidi Dira Dira Jana Priya Priya Karo Nirmat Saro Pujito Shri Chaitanya Kripa Baro Bhuvi Bhuvo Bharavahantarako Bande Rupa Sanatana Raghuyago Shri Jiva Gopalago Nana Shastra Vicharaneka Nipuno Sadharma Samstapako Lokanam Hitakarino Trubhavane Manyo Saranyakaro Radha Krishna Padara Vinda Bhajana Nandena Mataliko Vande Rupa Sanatana Raghuyago Shri Jiva Gopalago Bande Vande Rupa Sanatana Raghuyago Shri Jiva Gopalago Shri Goranga Gunanuvana Navido Shraddha Samridyambhito Papo Tapani Quintano Tanubritam Govinda Ganamrita Anandam Buddhivadane Kanukuno Kaivalya Nistarako Vande Rupa Sanatana Raghuyago Shri Jiva Gopalago Tyakva Namase Samandalapati Shrenim Sadatuchavat Budvadina Ganesa Ko Karunaya Kopina Kanta Shrito Gopi Bhavara Samrita Dalari Kalola Magnor Muhu Mandiru Basanatana Prabhuyago Shijiva Go Malago Kujat Kokila Hamsa Sarasagana Kine Mayura Kule Nana Shanana Nipada Mula Vidava Shiyukta Vrindavane Radha Krishna Mahani Samprabhajato Jiva Tato Muda Pandiru Pasanatana Raghuyago Shijiva Gopalago Sankhya Purvaka Namagana Natibi Kala Vasani Krito Nidrahara Vihara Kadi Vijito Chadyanta Dino Chayo Radha Krishna's Gunas Smrite Madhurima Nandena Masamohito Pandiru Basanatana Raghuyago Shijiva Gopalago Kundatate Kalindatanaya Chire Chavam Sivate Hemon Madhavasada Sesadasaya Jasto Pramato Sada Gayanto Chakadahare Gunavaram Bhava Vibhuto Muda Vandiru Pasanatana Raghuyago Jiva Gopalago Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nita Gaur Hari Bol Hari Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Gaur Vimanandi ki jai. This is a beautiful bhajan in Sanskrit, and it expresses the deeper states of love of Krishna and the gentleness and the beauty of it. So if you get a chance, you should read it. It's very, very nice. Oh, we didn't sing the last one? Okay. We missed the last one, okay. The last one is the most emotional one. That's why we missed it, yeah. Radha Krishna Hey Radhe Devi Ke Chalalite Hey Radha Viraja Devi Ke Chalalite Hey Nanda Suno Kuta Shri Govardhana Kalpa Pada Padale Kadindivane kuta Gosanta viti sarvato Rajapure Kedar Mahavivalo Vandiru Pasanatana Raghuyado Shijiva Gopalago Krishna, 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 Hare, Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare, Hare. So this last stanza says, I offer my respectful obeisances unto the 6 Goswamis. Shri Rupa Goswami, Shri Sanatana Goswami, Shri Raghunath Bhatta Goswami, Shri Raghunath Dasa Goswami, and Shri Jiva Goswami, and Shri Gopala Bhatta Goswami, who were chanting very loudly everywhere in Vrindavan, shouting, Queen of Vrindavana, Srimati Radharani, O Lalita, O son of Nanda Maharaj Krishna, where are you all now? Are you just on the hill of Govardhan, or are you under the trees on the bank of the Yamuna? Where are you? These were their moods in executing Krishna consciousness. So this, sometimes a person will say, where are all my relatives? They all died. Where's my uncle? Where's my auntie? Where's my grandfather? Where's my grandmother? They're all dead. Where are they? But this is different. This is saying, where is Krishna? Where's Srimati Radharani? They must be here. Their eternal pastimes are here in Vrindavan, and I'm so anxious to see them. See, this is a different thing. But I mean, you get the idea of what he's feeling, great separation from Krishna out of love. Right? And he doesn't say, oh, I had coffee with Krishna last night in my kitchen table. No. He's anticipating. The devotee is always anticipating seeing the Lord. He doesn't, and that anticipation purifies the heart. Haribol. So tonight we're going to see it. We're going to discuss more what we discussed last week, and we're going to show a film of a traditional village in Tamil Nadu about 80, 100 years ago. And you'll see that they did everything that they do today, but using ancient Vedic techniques, no machinery. Everything was done very ingeniously. And the people were happy. Their whole life did not revolve around social media. Their whole life revolved around the temple. And they were happy. And they were prosperous also. Their village is self-sufficient. They did not depend on outside things. They didn't need electricity or anything like that. And the people were very happy, and they lived healthy lives, and their families stayed together. They would have 3, 4, 5 generations in their family compound, and they're all working together harmonious. You know, our friend Jai Balam lived in a village like that. Is that right, Prabhu?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So this might bring some memories back to. So let's close the lights so we can see more clearly. Close all the lights. Close all the lights. Look very carefully, because this is what we're going to do. And you'll find out how we're going to do it. Inside India. They showed an airplane next to the cart.
There was a DC-3 Dakota airplane.
Oh, yeah. A Boeing airplane.
No, not Boeing.
Yeah.
Oh, it was McDonald's airplane.
Yeah.
Now it's
You have the sound? The sound is there.
The first important duty of the day is the worship of the village deity, while some of the villagers bathe in the waters of the temple tank, as it is believed that one is thereby purified from sin. However poor he may be, the South Indian villager is noted for his scrupulous cleanliness. Even the humblest homes are kept in perfect order. Nearly all tasks are performed in company, as community life is especially characteristic of the South. In this street live Brahmins, their house fronts beautifully adorned with columns. As in all villages, news is passed round quickly. In this house, there is much to talk about, as there's going to be a wedding in 2 months' time. This must surely be the bride. The sadhu predicts a long and happy life and numerous sons and daughters, and is duly rewarded by the grateful bride. The backyard is a veritable hive of activity. Cattle are fed and watered here, and cows are milked. Women sing village songs as they pound the rice. Done thus to music instead of gossip, work progresses swiftly. Even the chickens seem to find their share of the task easy. At 8 o'clock, school begins. The children of South India are extremely fond of learning, as these happy little faces plainly show. When lessons are over, the children play typical local games. The South Indian village is a self-sufficient unit. For smelting iron, making cartwheels, buckets and such things, or for shoeing his bullocks, the villager need not go far. The local blacksmith fulfills all these needs. Pottery is an important local handicraft. The potter's skillful hands work swiftly. Vessels of different designs and sizes are fashioned as if by magic. They are dried in the sun and baked in fire. From easily perishable pottery, we turn to the seemingly imperishable monuments for which South India is famous. These wonderful images express all the emotions, for each of which there is a set symbol. The coconut tree is useful in many ways, and both coconuts and leaves serve a number of purposes. The stem is cut in two, and by interweaving the leaves, thatch is made. The children are taught at a very early age to help in this work. basket making is another industry in which coconut leaves are used, such baskets being very strong and serviceable. Rope is made out of the fiber from the outer cover of the coconut. The work is done either by improvised wheels or by hand. Sometimes ropes are made from palmyra leaves as well. In many of the villages, the main occupation of the people is weaving. They spin the yarn on the charka, size it, and weave it on the hand loom. Apart from the khadi thus prepared, they also purchase mill yarn and weave it on their looms. Our hand-spun clothing has done much to alleviate the cloth shortage. In the dry regions of the south, groundnuts are the staple crop. It is not we alone who like to munch them. They are popular with all, from our venerable ancestors to our youngest descendants. Groundnut oil is being prepared here. This oil is widely used in cooking nowadays. Irrigation by wells is common in the south. The water is drawn from the wells in large buckets and emptied into the streams whence it flows to the thirsty fields. But even by this ingenious method, irrigation is no easy matter in the dry areas, and a fertile field is often a standing testimony to the dauntless perseverance and tireless labor of the peasants. As soon as the fields have been watered, plowing begins, and in the course of time, waste land turns into green meadows. Whatever the villagers do, they sing their way through their work, forgetting their weariness in the joy of music. Harvesting, naturally, is an occasion for especial enthusiasm. If the land is their own and the harvest a good one, their gladness knows no bounds, and they seem not to be aware of the heavy burdens they carry as they gather in the crops. As the carriers transport the hay to the marketplace, they still sing their melodious folk songs.
There are numerous dramatic troupes that travel from village to village in southern India, and evening performances are given in the streets. Here the people of the village witness one of the most popular musical dramas, Mathura Viran, the story of Princess Bomi being wooed by Viran, a commoner. Kiran persuades Princess Bomi to elope with him on horseback.
Of the year is undoubtedly the harvest festival in the month of January. Pandits and peasants, rich and poor, all flock to take part. First, the images are carried in procession. The village dancer is much in evidence on these occasions, for the South Indians are passionately fond of dancing, which plays a great part in all their lives. The most exciting event at the harvest festival is the Jallikattu or bull sport. The enraged animal is let loose with a purse tied round its neck. Whoever now takes the bull by the horns is not only the lucky prize winner, but also the hero of the village. This risky sport provides a thrilling climax to our film on village life of South India. Does anybody want the purse? Come and get it.
Haribol, Haribol. So this is something that's only maybe 2 or 3 generations apart from us today. Look how much it's changed. Does it bring back memories? Yeah. So last week we discussed some statements by Srila Prabhupada about going back to living a natural lifestyle. And that was emphasized as the original way people lived in India. And this is the proof. You don't see any IT, AI, or anything like that. But yet, they were living happily. They were cultivating culture, Vedic culture, and families were staying together, and there was entertainment, but entertainment that was based on Vedic, pastimes of the Lord and so forth. And it was a beautiful lifestyle, right? And you notice the man said the villages were self-sufficient, right? They didn't need to go out of the village. They had everything they needed in the village. They learned how to make things work for them. So this type of lifestyle can be reproduced again here in Washington State. How do we know that? Well, because the same lifestyle was here 3-4 generations ago. And Washington State is an agricultural state. So our proposal is that we want to inspire our children to get educated in the supply chain of Krishi Gorak Shivani Jam. That means cow protection, land stewardship, and everything related to that. So you have dairies, you have farms, you have bankers, you have accountants, you have Ayurvedic doctors, you have naturopathic doctors, you have veterinarians. That's all part of the supply chain of agriculture and farming. And we can reproduce these same original technologies today and update them somewhat and do the same thing in Washington State, because there is going to be a major shift in society in the next 10 to 15 years. Many people will lose their jobs to artificial intelligence and robotization. And people, what are the businessmen and the government going to do? They're going to give people a stipend. They've already started in California. There's one town in California where everyone gets $500 a month. Yeah. And they're experimenting now with that. You know, now you're not going to live on $500 a month, but there are some people, poor people that can live on that in California. But eventually, when there's massive unemployment due to robotization and artificial intelligence, there'll be millions of people losing their jobs. How are you going to pay your mortgage? How are you going to eat? How are you going to send your kids to school? See? So it's not a sustainable system that we have today. It's an artificial system. Now, you saw what happened. There was a windstorm. A couple poles got knocked down in Sammamish. The electricity went off. Right? So if there was ever an attack on the grid, either by a natural cause or by, let's say, an enemy, all the electricity would go off. It has already happened on the East Coast several times. Right? I don't know if it's happened on the West Coast, but it's happened on the East Coast. You know what happened when all the lights went out in New York for, I think it was like 48 hours? There was massive looting immediately. You know, so living on farms, but intelligently, and having our children educated in the supply line. The supply line means you need soil experts, you need farming experts, you need accountants, you need business experts, you need banking. See, and society was like that before, where a whole supply chain culture was created based on natural living, and we can do it again. We're already experimenting on our farms, but we're going very soon in the next year. We're going to go on a higher level. We're going to purchase a very big farm that is already a functioning dairy, and you can, you know, if you go and see how these things are working, they're already self-sufficient units where they grow their feed for their cows, where they grow vegetables also, where they have milk, and they have a dairy business, and it's all done in a very natural way, without you don't need big machinery and things like that. You know. You should think about this, because what is the fear? What your kids are being educated in public schools today, and they're being taught all bunch of junk. They are being, this morning we had a discussion with our kids. Every Saturday and Sunday morning I give class to children. And we were discussing, how do you know if something is true or false? Okay. And the criterion for understanding if something is true or false is, first of all, you must know Bhagavad Gita, because that is God speaking directly to us. Bhagavad Gita is Krishna speaking directly to Arjuna and for everyone's benefit. And Krishna is the original spiritual master. And he explains every issue that is important to clear the path for self-realization and for attaining immortality in this lifetime. So, in that explanation of Krishna, all questions are answered in this one book, Bhagavad Gita. All questions are answered about life. So, therefore, the first premise is that in order to have knowledge, you have to accept an authority. Now, when the kids go to these public schools, or even private schools, they naturally accept the authority of the teachers. And whatever the teacher says, they naturally believe it. So, one kid was telling me how the teacher said that we come from monkeys. And she said, I don't agree with that. And the teacher said, I have evidence to prove it. So the kid was shocked. The little devotee kid was shocked. And the teacher said, I have evidence that we come from monkeys. And the evidence is the thumb. The gorillas and the monkeys have thumbs, and human beings have a thumb. He said, second evidence is the molar teeth. The monkeys have the same type of molar teeth that human beings, or human beings have the same type of molar teeth as monkeys do. And number three, it's the tailbone. The human beings have the tailbone. They don't have the tail, but they have the bone. And the monkeys have the tail and the bone. So the kid didn't know what to say. So she asked the question this morning to me. She said, what can I do to answer my teacher? Because the teacher said, I have evidence that man comes from monkeys. I said, okay. The way to answer that is by Bhagavad Gita. Now, what does Krishna say in the Bhagavad Gita? If you go to the 14th chapter, 4th verse. Of course, if you don't know the Bhagavad Gita, you won't be able to say anything. But if you learn the Bhagavad Gita, and that's what we do here, we teach the Bhagavad Gita every day. Every night, 7:30, we have class. On the weekends also, we have also many other classes going on to teach this knowledge. So 14th chapter, 4th verse says, Sarvayonisu Konteya, Murtaye Sambhavantiya, Tasam Brahma Mahadyonir, Aham Bija Pradapita. So Krishna is speaking, and he says, it should be understood, Arjuna, that all species of life, that means all the fish, all the reptiles, all the insects, all the birds, all the mammals, all the human beings, there's 8,400,000 different species. They all coming from Krishna, because he says, it should be understood that all species of life, O son of Kunti, are made possible by birth in this material nature, and that I am the seed-giving father. So therefore, this is proof, and in the purport, His Divine Grace Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada explains. In this verse, it is clearly explained that the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, is the original father of all living entities. The living entities are combinations of the material nature and the spiritual nature. Such living entities are seen not only on this planet, but on every planet in the universe, even on the highest, where Brahma is situated. Everywhere there are living entities. Within the earth there are living entities, even within water and within fire. All these appearances are due to the mother, material nature, and Krishna's seed-giving process. The purport is that the material world is impregnated with living entities who come out in various forms at the time of creation according to their past deeds. So now, we said, and this is the important point, knowledge begins by accepting an authority. Now, the teacher's authority is Charles Darwin. Darwin said that there was not any creation by a God. He said that there is an evolutionary process that takes place naturally. And through a long period of time, through trial and error and survival of the fittest, different species have evolved. And then in modern times they added into the mix genetic mutation. Right? So I told the young girl, so you say, I don't accept Darwin, I accept Krishna. The teacher says, I accept Darwin. And we have evidence, right? So the next question is, let's compare Darwin to Krishna. Let's compare your authority to our authority. Your authority got old, he got sick, and he died. Krishna is eternal. He's an ever-fresh youth. He's never born, he never dies. And he's beautiful. Darwin also was ugly, if you ever saw his picture. Very ugly guy. Right? So let's compare the two. Darwin is fallible. He got old, he got sick, and he died. Krishna never gets old. He's always an ever-young, pristine youth. And Krishna's book was written 5,000 years ago. It's still being read. Darwin's book is not being read so much anymore, and it'll be forgotten in another generation, you see. So, if knowledge depends on the authority that you accept, our authority is better than Darwin, you see. So, Krishna says that he's the seed-giving father. It's not that everyone comes from monkeys. We all come from Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So, unless children are taught this, they get poisoned in these public schools, and they learn all this junk. Everything started with a big bang. Well, if there's a big bang in your house, does it start something or does it end something? You know, these are nonsensical concepts. There's no rationale behind them. They're all speculative, and because they're so-called PhDs that write books about it, people think, oh, it must be true because he's an authority. Right? Knowledge begins by accepting an authority. You should hope, as a parent, that your children accept your authority. Because if they go to school and accept another authority that says we come from monkeys, everything started with a big bang, you have to take the flu shot, blah, 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 down the line, then your child is lost. You're going to lose that child. That child is going to be trained in another culture, a culture that's called Asuric culture, you see. And eventually they'll learn how to eat meat, they'll learn how to smoke marijuana, and all these other things, right? And they'll learn how to have loose relationships and so forth. So, what we discussed this morning was what is the basis of education and knowledge? It begins by acceptance of authority. And now, what is actual education? Krishna explains this in the 13th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, verses 8 to 12. He says, Amanitvam medamidvam ahimsa santir arjavam acharya pasamam socham saryam atma vinigraham indriyarte suvairagyam anahankara evacha janma mityu jaravyadi dukadosana darsanam asaktir anabhismanga putra daragihadisu nityam cha samachitatma istan isto papadisu jamai chananya yogena bhaktir avya bicharine vivikta desa sevitvam aratir janasamsadi adhyatma jnananitatma tatvad jnanartha darsanam etad jnanam iti protam yad adjnanam yad ato nata. This is the 20 points of knowledge. It begins with amanitvam, humility. Without humility, knowledge is a curse. When you meet a person who is very arrogant, no matter if they're very smart, but their arrogance belies their low character. So what good is that knowledge? So the first point is humility. The second point is freedom from false pride. The third is ahimsa, non-violence. And then fourth, santir, is tolerance, self-control and tolerance. Arjavam is simplicity, honesty. And acharya pasamam, then one should accept a bona fide spiritual master. So this is the crucial decision. There are two crucial decisions in life. Who should I marry and who should I accept as guru? If you make a mistake in either one of those, you'll ruin your life. Would you agree with that? So, who should I accept as a guru? So the next question is, how do you recognize if someone is actually a guru? There's a difference between a guru and a kangaroo. So today we're going to discuss that difference because it's a fundamental question. Who is actually authorized or who is actually qualified to be a guru? Because if you make that mistake and choose a kangaroo instead of a guru, your life is misled. So, the first point in choosing a guru is that the guru must simply repeat the words of Krishna, because Krishna is the original guru. So there's Krishna, the previous acharyas and liberated souls, and there is the present guru. They all three must say the same thing. Just like Bali Maharaj, he had a guru. His name was Sukracharya. And Sukracharya taught Bali Maharaj that Lord Vishnu is the beneficiary of all sacrifices. You should give everything to Lord Vishnu. So Lord Vishnu appears before Bali Maharaj as Vamanadev, a dwarf brahmana. And he's asking for bhikshu, he's asking for a charity. So when Bali Maharaj sees Vamanadev, he tells, when Sukracharya sees Vamanadev, he tells Bali Maharaj, don't give him anything. And Bali Maharaj says, why not? He's a brahmana. He said he's a brahmana, but actually he's Krishna in disguise. And he'll take everything away from you. And Bali Maharaj said, but I thought you said we're supposed to, everything belongs to him and we should give him everything. He said, don't give him anything, because if you give him everything, if he takes everything away from you, how am I going to get my salary? Ah, see? So he's not a real guru. Although he knows the Shastra, although he knows, he can even recognize Krishna, but because he has an attachment, he cannot maintain the truth. He can speak the truth, but he cannot maintain it. So he's not a bona fide guru, right? So therefore, Bali Maharaj, he rejected him. He rejected him, and Krishna took everything away from him. And Bali Maharaj said, wait a minute, you didn't take everything. Now take me also. So he became Krishna's eternal devotee, you see. So this is the first qualification, that a guru must be able to repeat correctly Krishna's words and the previous acharya's words, just like you have the Alvars, and you have Ramanujacharya, you have Yamunacharya, you have the Vaishnava saints in the Gaudiya, Madhava Gaudiya Vaishnava disciplic succession, and then you have the Sri Vaishnava disciplic succession, then you have the Nimbarka line of disciplic succession, which is, and then you have the Rudra Sampradaya. So there are four original Vaishnava Sampradayas: Rudra, Kumara, Brahma, and Sri Lakshmi. See? The gurus in those four lines are bona fide, because if they repeat correctly the acharyas, and they all accept that Krishna is the Supreme Personality Godhead. So that's point one. Point two, how to recognize a bona fide guru. That is that he's in a disciplic, bona fide Vaishnava disciplic succession. It's not that, oh, my succession or disciplic succession, my grandfather started this in 1932, you know, and he said there's no God. So that's my guru, and that's what I'm preaching, there's no God. By the way, don't laugh, there is a guru who taught that there's no God. It's in Tamil Nadu. They wear black shirts and white dhotis, and they go house to house and they tell people there's no God. Is this right, Prabhu?
Yeah, that is correct. And they are the people preaching God, because all the time they talk about God.
They were talking about God, but they say there's no God.
Yeah, there is no God, no God. Whoever believes God is an idiot.
You see? So that guru should be rejected, because he's not speaking what Krishna speaks. By the way, he's speaking the opposite of it. Now, some people accept him as guru. Why? Because they don't know how to recognize a real guru. They've never been taught. And this is what we're teaching the kids this morning. Okay, so second point, he's in a bona fide disciplic succession. It's not that my grandfather started this or my great-grandfather started this, okay? Number three, that the guru follows strictly the Vaishnava culture, all the rules and regulations. Like, for example, you might say, oh, Harivilas is guru, right? But if you see Harivilas next week down at the Safeway smoking a cigarette, would you say he's a guru? No, because he'd be breaking the rules, you see? So, the guru has to live very strictly according to the the culture and the rules and regulations of the Vaishnava disciplic succession. There was one person that came here to teach our devotees Sanskrit. And after 3 lessons, all the devotees refused to go to his lesson. You know why? Because even though he came to teach Sanskrit, his real goal was to teach us that Krishna is not the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He was teaching Mayavad philosophy, but using Sanskrit as a medium. So he came up to me and complained. He said, "There's something wrong in your temple." I said, "What's wrong?" He said, "Oh, your devotees, all they talk about is Prashadam and Kirtan and Bhagavad Gita. And they don't want to learn Sanskrit." I said, "Wait a minute, that doesn't make sense." And so I asked him, "Do you believe in Krishna?" He said, "Krishna is one of the gods." "Yeah, he's one of the gods." I said, "That's the problem." He said, "What do you mean that's the problem?" I said, "You don't know Bhagavad Gita." "So I can read Sanskrit. You don't know Sanskrit. I am the one that knows Sanskrit." I said, "I know, you know Sanskrit, but you don't know Bhagavad Gita. So therefore, if you want to teach Sanskrit here, first you sit down with me. I'll teach you Bhagavad Gita. And when I'm convinced that you know it very well, then you can teach Sanskrit." He said, "No, I'm not going to do that." Because he had a motive. His motive was not to teach Sanskrit. His motive was to mislead the devotees here, to turn them away from bhakti to some kind of this yoga or that yoga or this thing or this guru or that guru. What do you do when you open your mouth like that? Huh? Huh? What do? You cover your mouth with your hand, right? Don't do that again. Okay, so that's number 3. He strictly follows the rules and regulations. Number 4, he never says that he is God, and he doesn't let his disciples say that he's God. He says rather that I'm the servant of God. And Krishna or Narayan or Ram is the supreme God, and I'm the servant. Not the servant of God, the servant of the servant of the servant of the servant of God. Dasa, 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 dasanudasa. See? So, now we have 4 criterions, right? And number 5 is that he never speculates. Now, let's explain what speculation is. By the way, okay, Prabhu, you go to school, right? Do they tell you that speculation is good? Is that your answer? Huh? Okay. Speculation means that you read something and now you give your own interpretation to it. It might be right, it might not be right.
Yeah, they make us do that a lot.
They make you do that a lot. You see? Speculation is not allowed in spiritual life. There's a difference between intellectual examination of something and speculation. Speculation means you don't know the answer. You're making something up. You're guessing. Right? Just like we all come from monkeys. There was a big bang. There are black holes in the universe. If you are frustrated in your love life, it'll make you go sick. You'll get a psychosis. This is Freudian philosophy. What's the solution to that? Free love. Well, wait a minute. It's the frustration that got you sick, and if you have free love, you'll get better or you'll get sick. So you understand, these type of speculative philosophies like Freudian philosophy, Freudian psychoanalysis, like Big Bang, like Darwinism, like Marxism, all these things, they're speculations. They're not actually correct. It took the Soviet Union 70 years to realize communism doesn't work. But in the meantime, 55 million people were killed. That's a speculation. Marx's whole thing is a speculation. Capitalism is another speculation. Why? Because capitalism goes like this, up and down. Just like the stock market, it goes up and down, you see. There are, why? Because you cannot sustain artificial economic growth. You can prop it up artificially for some time, but then it it collapses again, and then you have to find another trick to prop it up. See? Like Obamacare was a trick to prop up the economy, because it was another tax. They didn't call it a tax. They said, you're getting everything for free. Actually, you're not getting everything for free. Some people had to pay so that you could, some people could get something for free. So it was another tax. The Supreme Court, what was his name, John Roberts, he was the one that gave the deciding vote when they were trying to cancel Obamacare. He said, it's not a question of whether it's legal according to the Constitution. It's just another tax. So if you say it's legal to force people to buy into Obamacare, that's not allowed. But if you say it's a tax, well, the government can legislate taxes. So it's actually a tax, he said. You see? And now another judge has canceled that just last week. So, but you see, this is these philosophies, economic philosophies, whether it's capitalism, socialism, communism, and so forth, they're all false. There's only one real way to organize society. That's when everyone accepts that God is the proprietor. You see, each one of those philosophies, capitalism, socialism, communism, monarchism, and so forth, they accept that somebody else beside God is the proprietor. Therefore, they do not work. They'll work for some time, then they collapse. When we all accept that God is the proprietor, and as God says in Ishopanishad, first mantra, Ishavaisham idam sarvam jatkinja jagatyam jagat tena taktena punjitaha ma'akritaha kashasviddanam. The Lord is the supreme owner and controller of everything, and he has set aside for every living entity their minimum needs. If you take the minimum and use whatever else you have that's in excess of your minimum in the service of God, you are not affected by the laws of karma. And you can live indefinitely like that without becoming entangled. So, there's nothing wrong with making $1 million a day as long as you donate 995,000 and so forth to Krishna, and you live with $300 or $400 or $500 or $1,000 a day, because you don't need more than that to live. If you spend more than that, then it just entangles you. You see? So here we see that speculation leads to all these types of philosophies, all the isms, capitalism, socialism, communism, etc. All those isms are based on speculative thoughts by very clever people, and none of them actually work. Not one of them works. What actually works is Bhagavad Gita. This book is 5,000 years old. There's no other book in existence today that's 5,000 years old. Do you know one that's 5,000 years old? No. The Old Testament is at most 3,000 years old. 3,000, 3,500 maximum, not more than that. Bhagavad Gita is older than 5,000. It was spoken originally by Krishna to Vivaswan 120 million years ago. Then it was spoken again by Krishna to Maharaj, then to Manu, and then and then it was spoken to Ikshvaku 2,005,000 years ago, and then it was spoken by Krishna again 5,000 years ago. So it's much older than 5,000 years. So, therefore, here we have 6 points how to recognize a bona fide spiritual master. So, is the teacher who's trying to convince this young girl that she has proof that we come from monkeys, should she be accepted as a guru, as a teacher? No. She's completely violating Shastric evidence. She's speaking something that's speculative also. There's no actual proof. So, the thumb, we have a thumb like the monkey. Well, what if I say you have a brain like a monkey? Because you can't understand higher order philosophical concepts. You can only understand that we come from monkeys. And I can understand that we come from God. That means your brain is less important than my brain, right? So, no, you have to have the baseline understanding of how to recognize who is an authority and who is not an authority, you see. Because once you accept someone as an authority, you accept whatever they say. That's when you begin to learn. Okay, so the next point is, how can we understand what is self-realization? Because that should be the goal of life. Self-realization has 4 levels of understanding. The first level of understanding in self-realization is to see the difference between the soul and the body, between soul and matter, spiritual and matter. That's the first step. Most people never make that step. They cannot see that they have a soul that's different than their body. They think the soul and the body is mixed together, like chemically mixed together. And when the body dies, everything ends. Right? It's not true. And the beginning of spiritual knowledge, in the 2nd chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Krishna tells Arjuna that Dehinosmin yata dehe go maran yoganam jara tatat dehantara praptir dhiras tatra namuyate. He says that as a child grows, as the human being grows, they go from embryo to childhood, and childhood to boyhood to teenage, teenage to maturity, maturity to middle age to old age, and death. At every point the body changes. So how can we say I am this body when it's always changing? But we can't say I'm the witness of those changes. That means I is something different than the body because I witness all those changes. See? That I is the soul, the consciousness, which is the symptom of the presence of the soul. So that's the first step of self-realization. The second step of self-realization is to realize the difference between myself and Paramatma, the super soul who's in my heart and in the heart of every living entity and in every atom of the universe. It's Krishna's expansion as Shirodakshaya Vishnu. That's why things work. You know, the earth revolves in a regular way. Seasons change in a regular way. Your heart beats in a regular way. Your blood circulates. Your digestion takes place. All these things are happening. It's all controlled by Krishna as Paramatma and also with the help of the Devatas. Okay. So that's the second step of self-realization. The third step of self-realization is to understand that the material nature, the individual souls like you and me, the Paramatma in the heart of every living entity, all comes from Krishna. And Krishna says this, Aham sarvasya prabhavo matak sarvam pavartate iti matva bhajante mam Buddha Bhava samanvitahad. 10th chapter, 8th verse of Bhagavad Gita, he says, everything material and spiritual comes from me. So when we understand that, now we see ourselves in relationship to Krishna, then we can understand who we are. And self-realization goes through these different steps until you understand that I'm the eternal servant of Krishna. And the ultimate step, the next step is everything comes from Krishna, everything is dependent on Krishna, and there's no such thing as something independent of God. Everything depends on God. Then you become self-realized. Okay? So, who is going to teach this? Most teachers today are what we call Mayavadis. They teach you that you can become God by meditating. Is that right or wrong? Huh? No, but is it right that they're teaching like that? It's incorrect teaching, yes. But I am right because most of them are teaching something like that. You become God by doing some meditation, say, or doing this breathing exercise or that breathing exercise, or you develop the power of Shivam by doing different exercises or whatever. So all that is cheating. The actual thing is that we can become the servant of God. And if you become the servant of God, then you will live on the same level as Krishna in Vaikuntha or Goloka, Vrindavan, and have a similar type of body, an eternal body made of Satchitananda. Okay, so we discussed today, and these are the things that we teach our kids: how to recognize a bona fide guru, what is actually self-realization, and how to counter false arguments like Darwinism, etc. Unless the kids learn this, they naturally accept the authority of the teachers, the imperfect teachers, and the imperfect gurus, and they become illusioned. And they go off in the rest of their life thinking that the goal of life is to dominate. Just like Jeff Bezos is a dominator. Satya Nadella and Bill Gates and so forth, they're all dominators. Larry Ellison and this Larry, that Larry, they're all dominators. These are people who dominate thousands of people. And a sexual predator, he's a dominator. He'll dominate this kid or that woman or something or other. This domination syndrome is taught in the public schools. The whole idea of the high five is about domination. Do you know what the high five is? Go like that, right? Little kids, you can go up to a little kid who's only 2 years old and go like this, and he'll go like that, right? How did he learn that? Because it's a false symbol of so-called self-esteem. And when they do some little thing, they get the high five, and they learn that, yes, I want this high five all throughout my life. Like, for example, when the stock market goes up, the stockbrokers give each other a high five. You understand? And when someone, hits the lottery, they do a high five. And when someone wins the Super Bowl, they do the high five. You see? It's all about domination. See? And spiritual life is all about submission to the will of the Lord. We get stuck in the material world by this value, by thinking that we should be a dominator. We should be the servant of the Lord. You have to overcome that false concept. Okay, so we'll stop right there. In a natural form of life, as we saw in that village, you develop dependence on God. You naturally become humble, and because you depend on the mercy of God. You don't depend on the mercy of Microsoft or the mercy of Google or the mercy of Facebook. You depend on the mercy of God. And you naturally function as a humble servant of God, and you're not disturbed by things. You're self-sufficient. You grow your own food. You cooperate with your family members, and the whole village works together. You saw how the village works together to do the harvest, to pump the water into the trenches, to weave the baskets, to make the cloth, to feed the cows, and all these things, to grow the grains. But today, you have to pay people and scare people to cooperate, right? And that's a different system. Before, people cooperated out of affection because they respected Guru, they respected mother and father, they respected elders, and they respect most of all God. Therefore, they agreed to cooperate. They lived simple lives, they were healthy, they were self-sufficient, and they were servants of God. We're going to go back to that type of life, and we're going to develop the supply chain. Our kids should be educated to become veterinarians, to become soil experts, to become experts in taking care of cows, growing vegetables and grains, and banking and accounting, and all the things in the supply chain of a agricultural, dairy-based society. Krishi Goraksha Vanijam. This is Bhagavad Gita, where Krishna says that the occupation of the Vaishyas is cow protection and land stewardship, and being devotees of God. Hare Krishna. So thank you very much. We'll stop right there. Are there any questions? Yes.
The teacher was telling the kid that, you know, he or she knows that we came from monkeys.
The teacher told the kid, yes, that she has evidence that we come from monkeys.
Right. She doesn't even know the Bhagavad Gita, but she doesn't even know the Bible, because in there also God says, I made man out of my own image.
Yeah, that's what happens when you study Darwinism. Whether you're a Christian or you're a Jew or you're a Muslim or a Hindu, you'll stop believing in God. Good comment. Any other points? Yes, you have a question? Oh, you were just scratching your nose? Or? Yeah, you were raising your hand. Like, okay. Anybody else want to ask a question? Yes, sir. Does science say that again? But it's been proved? What do you mean proved? A theory is not something that's proven. It's something that is on the track to become a fact, but it's not proven yet. A theory, you have to look it up in a dictionary. Theory is something, there are different levels of theories. To have a scientific theory, there has to be at least some degree of predictability, where that theory can give you some predictability, right? So like, for example, you have Newton's 3 laws of mechanics. Newton's 3 laws of mechanics has very good predictability with macroscopic objects under the influence of gravity. But as soon as you go down to microscopic particles at the speed of light, it breaks down. You have to have another theory. So theories are things that may have some degree of predictability, but they're not exactly fact. Okay, so go ahead. Your question now. Darwinism is not proven. It's not proven. There's some evidence, like the lady said, the thumb and the molar and the tailbone or whatever, but that's not definitive proof. And by the way, in order for the modern Darwinists to prove something, they have to be selective in the evidence that they show. In other words, anything that doesn't support their theory, they reject it. Any evidence that doesn't support their theory, they reject it, and they only accept that evidence that seems to support their theory. There's an entire book called Hidden Archaeology. We have it, if you want to read it. It shows all the evidence that's been rejected by the Darwinists. And there's more evidence debunking Darwinism in the fossil, let's say the fossil remains, than evidence that supports Darwinism. They do selective evidence. Okay? So if you want to read that book, I think we have it in our library. You can look at it, and you can also order it. Yeah.
Thanks, Prabhu.
You're very welcome.
It's basically the verse which you mentioned, that also says, the way we are interpreting. We are telling that is God. Our Krishna is the seed-giving father.
Yes.
When he is the one, from him emanates the dog or animals or mammals or human.
Yes.
But it's all the same.
What do you mean?
It's only what I mean is, it's a body, this body, in which a soul I am living, and tomorrow, depending upon the karma what I am going to perform, I may get into a dog.
Yeah, I know, but look,
but
the seed, like, let me explain it to you. Like, for example, that this is explained in Bhagavad Gita. You know the process of procreation, right? A man and a woman come together, husband and wife come together, and the man impregnates the woman with a seed. It's called a sperm, right? Where did that sperm come from?
Body.
No, not exactly. The sperm is, you began as that little fish, right? Now, in that fish, it is a body. It's a little body. In that fish is a soul, right? Now, how did that soul get into the body of the man?
Yeah,
No, it's explained.
animals also. What
No, same is true for animals, yeah.
With anything.
So but let's discuss how it happens. Bhagavad Gita explains that, see, the sunlight that we see every day, the sunlight is coming from the spiritual world. It's called Brahma Jyoti. What is that sunlight made of? According to the Vedas, it's made up of infinite number of souls that are like pencils of light. And that sunlight is bounced off, it comes from the spiritual world, it bounces off of the sun and comes into the material world, and it sustains everything. Therefore, there are living souls everywhere in the universe where there's light. Now that light is captured by plants through photosynthesis, right? And then the plants make simple sugars, you know, glucose eventually. And then it is transformed into other more stable chemicals. And then you and I eat it. Like we saw the people in the village in Tamil Nadu, they were planting rice, right? Rice is a grain, right? Now, you need rain, you need water. And so we come into the material world starting from Brahma, and then we come down. And we end up on the earth through rain. And then the rain is absorbed by the plants with the sunlight, right?
Correct, yeah.
And then you and I eat the grain, right?
Correct.
And that is the way the soul enters into the body, you see. And then you produce this little fish-like body with your nutrients, and the soul is placed in there. And then eventually, if it finds the ovum, the life begins. Okay.
Yeah, you know, it's Prabhu, you know, the same mechanism, you know, Darwin theory also, if you understand very clearly, and it just correlates with what we study in our Bhagavatam also.
No, Darwin's theory is different, Prabhu.
You know,
He doesn't, first of all, he doesn't accept the existence of the soul.
Whenever Krishna was born as a fish initially, then
No.
how it evolves, that itself clearly.
That's not correct. That's not correct. The idea Krishna begins as a fish in his incarnations, right, as the Das Avatar.
Yeah.
That is a Darwinian explanation of it. It's not the Shastric explanation of it. You've been poisoned by the Darwinian explanation of the Das Avatar. So we'll talk about this some more, okay?
Yeah,
I like Jai Balam because he always presents the Asura's point of view, and he does it very well. So that's good.
Yeah, I may represent the Asura, that may be true. But the thing is what
No, you're not an Asura. You're not an Asura, but you present their point of view very well, and that's okay. Okay, so we want to thank our sponsors of the Sunday Feast today. It's Manoj Bharadwaj and family on the occasion in memory of his nephew and Manu Bharadwaj, who passed away recently. So they're sponsoring the feast tonight, and they've given $1,250. Thank you very much. And then Lata Natarajan, Uthara Parthasarati, Sanjana Perla's birthday, Hare Krishna, and Sai Krishna Papuri's birthday, Hare Krishna. Sai's family has given $250. So the Bharadwaj family, Lata Natarajan, Uthara Parthasarati, Sanjana Perla, and Sai Krishna Papuri. Okay, so we will celebrate the birthday after the Arti. And we have our upcoming events from the 18th, on the 18th and the 23rd of this month. In other words, next, I think it's Wednesday and next Sunday, we're celebrating Gita Jayanti. Tuesday and Sunday, we're celebrating Gita Jayanti. And you can sponsor a box of Bhagavad Gitas for $100. You can receive the box and give them out to your friends and relatives and co-workers and even your enemies, if you have any. And how many boxes have we already sponsored?
Including your 3 boxes, we distributed 100 boxes.
Already. So we're aiming for 150. So we need to get another 50 sponsors or 50 sponsorships. And then next Tuesday is Vaikuntha Ekadasi and Swarga Darshan, beginning at 6 a.m. in the morning, Tuesday. And in the evening also, we will recite the entire Bhagavad Gita, and we'll have the Vaikuntha Dwaram here, so everyone is invited. And then on December 22nd at 6 p.m., Santa Claus is coming. Haribol. Good. And then on December 24th, we have our Christmas Eve dinner, a special dinner. So you're all invited to that. And on the first Sunday of every month, we have Ananda Yoga at our farm, or Yoga at our farm in Auburn. You spend the whole day doing yoga, feasting on very delicious food, doing cow puja, and also having fun. So if you're into that, it's every month on the first Sunday. And then we're beginning our yoga classes in Bellevue, January 5th, every Saturday from 8:30 to 10:30 a.m., and every Saturday and Sunday here from 7:30 to 9 a.m. And on December 31st is our New Year's Eve celebration with no champagne and no alcohol and no marijuana. So you definitely come. We have a great time, and we have kirtans and a lot of feasting. It's a lot of fun. Okay, so we'll have Arti now, and after that we will celebrate birthdays. Haribol. So, Prabhu, come here a second. Turn this thing around. Turn that around. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Bola Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Bola Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Shiva Jayo, Jaya Gora Chande, Arati Ke Soba. Jana Vitata Bane, Jagamana Loba. Gorangera Rotik Soba, Jagajana Manaloba. Gorangera Rotik Soba, Jagajana Manaloba. Jagajana Manaloba, Jagajana Manaloba. Kibadaki Nidaya Chan Banmen Gadad Hara. Nikate Advaita Shini Vasajadratara. Nikate Advaita Shini Vasajadratara. Jayo Jaya Gora Chande, Arati Ke Soba. Jana Vitata Bane, Jagamana Loba. Baboshi Nachingora Chan Ratna Singha Sane Arati Korena Brahma Adideva Gane Arati Korena Brahma Adideva Gane Jayo Jaya Gora Chante Arati Kesoba Bola Jana Vita Tabane Jagamana Loka Jana Vita Tabane Jagamana Loka Ibanadari Adikari Chamaradu Laya Sanjaya Mukunda Vasu Kosa Adigaya Sanjaya Mukunda Vasu Kosa Adigaya Chayo Jaya Gora Chante Arati Ke Soba Jana Vita Tabane Jagamana Loba Jana Vita Tabane Jagamana Loba Shankar Bhaje Kanta Bhaje Bhaje Karatala Madhura Mitanga Bhaje Paramara Sala Madhura Mitanga Bhaje Paramara Sala Jayo Jaya Gora Chante Arati Kesoba Kesoba Jana Vita Tabane Jagamana Loba Jana Vita Tabane Jagamana Loba Shankar Bhaje Kanta Bhaje Madhur 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 Bhaje Shankar Bhaje Kanta Bhaje Madhur 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 Bhaje Shankar Bhaje Kanta Bhaje Madhur 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 Bhaje Madhur 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 Bhaje Madhur 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 Bhaje Madhur 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 Bhaje Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitya Gora Hari Bol Nitya Gora Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitya Gora Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Gaura Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Gaura Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Gaura Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol. Bahu Koti Chandra Jini Madana Ujvala Gala Jese Bana Mala Kare Jala Mala Kari Jala Mala Jayo Jaya Gaura Chande Arati Ke Sobha Jana Vita Davane Jagamana Loba Jana Vita Davane Jagamana Loba Shiva Sukhanarada Premigada Gada Shiva Sukhanarada Premigada Gada Bhakati Vinoda Dede Gorara Sampada Bhakati Vinoda Dede Gorara Sampada Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hey, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Bolo Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Bola Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur, Hari Bol. Nitai Gaur, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur, Hari Bol. Gora Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gora Hari Bol. Not playing right. Nitai Gora Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gora Hari Bol. Nitai Gorango, Nitai Gorango, Nitai Gorango, Nitai Gorango, Nitai Goranga Bolo Gora Hare. Jaya Satinandana, Jaya Satinandana. Jaya Satinandana, Jaya Satinandana, Jaya Satinandana, Gora Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Bola Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Bola Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Gora Hari Bol, Nitai Gora Hari Bol, Nitai Gora Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gora Hari, Nitai Gora Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Gora Hari Bol, Nitai Gora Hari Bol, Nitai Gora Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gora Hari Bol, Nitai Gora Premanandi ki jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahansa Paraj Gachasta Tarasatara Shishi Shimad Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Goswami Maharaj Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnavinda ki jai. Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur ki jai. Prem Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhaktivinda ki jai. Shri Radha Krishna Gogopinath Samakunda Radha Kunda Giri Gauravan ki jai. Nitai Gaura Premanandi. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled. All glories to Shri Guru and Shri Guranga. All glories to Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Namaste Narasimhaya Pralada Lada Dayini. Namaste Narasimhaya Pralada Lada Dayini. Kashi Purvakshah Shiladam Kanagala Barato Nishinga, Yato Yato Yamita Do Nishinga. Mahi Nishinga, Hidaye Nishinga, Darashina Madim Sarana Prabhade. Tavakara Kamala Bare Nakam Aduta Shingham Dalita Hiranyakashipu Tanubringham Kesavadita Narahari Rupa Jaya Jagadesha Hare Jaya Jagadesha Hare Jaya Jagadesha Hare Tavakara Kamala Bare Nakam Aduta Shingham Dalita Hiranyakashipu Tanubringham Kesavadita Narahari Rupa Jaya Jagadesha Hare Jaya Jagadesha Hare Jaya Jagadesha Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitagor Hari Bol Tagore Pimanandi Ki Jai The Shingadev Bhagavan Ki Jai. So we have two very happy birthdays today. We have Sanjana and who was the other one? Who was the other birthday? Sai, yes, Sai. Okay, why don't you come up to your cake? Please come forward. And all of the friends of Sanjana and Sai, not Shy, but Sai, please come forward. And we can light the candle. Now, birthday is a wonderful thing if it marks your advancement in wisdom. And it's a terrible thing if it marks your advancement in ignorance. So we pray tonight that Sai and Sanjana and everybody advances in knowledge and wisdom. There's a difference between knowledge and wisdom. Knowledge is in a sense, theoretical. And wisdom is you can use the knowledge when you need it. You remember it when you need it. And if it's just theoretical, when you need it, you're confused. So you want to have wisdom today. The wisdom is choose your friends carefully, because tell me who your friends are, I'll tell you who you are. So if you have friends that smoke marijuana, that drink beer, and party all the time, that's a very bad future. If you have friends that chant Hare Krishna, eat only prasadam, and drink lassi, then you're in very good shape. Okay? So we pray tonight that you have wisdom to see the difference between a good person and a bad person, the truth and falsity, and to be able to always remember the good instructions you received at the temple and make them work in your life. Haribol. So now let's everybody have 3 big Haribols for Sanjana and Sai. 1, 2, and 3. Haribol! 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 And 1 big Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Nitai Borak Premanandi Ki Jai. Hare Krishna to you, Hare Krishna to you, Hare Krishna, dear Sanjana and Sai Prabhus, Hare Krishna to you. Haribo, Haribo. Now we pray tonight that Srimati Radharani give her special blessing to Sanjana and Sai, so that they can always remember Krishna throughout their whole life. Krishna Astu Matir.
Harivilas Prabhu and Mataji.
Okay.
5 Bhagavad Gita.
So tonight,
my husband said 2 balls, and then you said no 4. So we said okay 5.
your wife said 5.
Yeah.
Okay, good. She knows best.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. So tonight we have 5 more boxes of Bhagavad Gita that are sponsored by Brajahari Prabhu and his good wife, Harsha Ben. Thank you very much.
90 Bhagavad Gitas.
Yeah.
90 families will be delivered.
Yes. Say that again?
So 16, they have 5 boxes.
Yes.
It's 90 Bhagavad Gitas.
Oh yeah, you're getting 90 Bhagavad Gitas with 5 boxes. If you want them, we give them to you. You can distribute them, or if you want to donate them. Okay, very good. And then we want to thank also Ramesh Perla on the occasion of his daughter Sanjana's birthday. He's donated $251. And tonight, I want to thank Muthu Kumar Swami and Muthu Kumar Swami Chinnasamy. He has donated $5,500. Thank you, Muthu. $5,500 tonight for protecting our cows.
Oh, wow.
Yes. Hare Krishna. Thank you very, very much. Please enjoy the cake and chant Hare Krishna. Haribol. Krishna Astu Matir. May you always remember Krishna. Always remember Krishna, and always remember the Charana Sloka. Right? Sarvadharmam Parityaja, Mam Ekam Saranam Raja, Ham Tvam Sarvapadvya, Mokshi Samyam. That should be the guiding light of your life. Haribol. Huh? Margaret, yes. It's this month, right? Yeah.
Starting today.
Haribol. Thank you.
Keshav has busy man, all over the place.
How old is he?
He's like 6 years old. So I just bought this neem oil.
Yeah, you can use that the way you use it.
Or tea tree oil. Last time I bought tea tree oil.
For the same thing?
Just like
okay. You can dilute the neem oil with some other vegetable oil and massage his body with it. You can also use the neem oil. Well, you can use the neem oil. You said he has it all over his body?
No, just this place and this place.
Okay. So before he takes a bath, you can put the neem oil on him. Right? Let it sit for about 5 minutes, and then he can take his bath. But don't use soap.
Yeah, I don't use soap.
What do you use?
So initially I used the Ayurvedic herbal soap that I got from Patanjali.
That's still soap. Yeah. I have a thing called soapless shampoo. Yeah, it's Arita.
Okay.
You can use that. You rub it on his body, and you let it sit for about 5 minutes, and then you rinse it off. It will clean. It cleans. It does.